Hello, this is Tony Heller from RealClimateScience.com. The Joe Biden clown show has begun. In 1987, just about everybody understood that Joe Biden was a clown. He's been running for president for almost 40 years, and this is how he was described before the 1988 race. So far, the Democrats have been scraping the bottom of the barrel with the likes of Reverend Jesse Jackson, Senator Joe Biden, and Senator Paul Simon. If Joe Biden were to win the nomination and then succeed to the presidency, that would spell the end of daytime and primetime TV. Just about everybody understood that Joe Biden was not a suitable candidate for president. And this description was written almost 35 years ago, back when Joe Biden still had control of his mental faculties. Barack Obama nominated Biden back in 2008 to be his vice president as an insurance policy against impeachment or assassination. Obama understood that nobody would want Joe Biden to be president. And yet here we are in the year 2021 with a senile, corrupt Joe Biden in the White House. And the clown show has begun. The day before inauguration, NPR reported, as death rate accelerates, U.S. records 400,000 lives lost to the coronavirus. Wow, that sounds really bad. But 2 days later, NPR reports, current deadly U.S. coronavirus surge has peaked, researchers say. So 2 days earlier it was accelerating, and now that Biden's in office, it's on the way down. That was a pretty fast turnaround as soon as Joe Biden took the oath of office. But now Biden has to take credit for what's already happened. President Joe Biden will sign 10 executive orders on Thursday to fight the coronavirus pandemic. He's like a superhero coming in with 10 executive actions to turn the virus around. But the latest data from Johns Hopkins University shows that in almost every state, the virus has been dropping off precipitously for quite some time. In almost all of the states in the central part of the country, the virus peaked about 10 weeks ago. And in many states, the daily new case count is down 80 to 90% from what it was 10 weeks ago. The curves for many of these states look very similar despite very different government policies. South Dakota had no lockdowns and no mask mandates. New Mexico, by contrast, had the second most severe lockdowns in the country, and they've had 8 months of mask mandates. But South Dakota is doing better than New Mexico, and their case counts are way down by 90%. All of the evidence shows that lockdowns and mask mandates accomplish nothing, but Joe Biden needs to take credit for what already happened. So he issued a national mask mandate today, which will accomplish nothing, but he's hoping he can use it to take credit for what happened 10 weeks ago. It's been known for a long time that the standard PCR test being used for COVID-19 produced a huge number of false positives. But this was allowed to go on until Joe Biden took office. And then magically, right on cue for Biden, the World Health Organization admitted that high-cycle PCR tests produce massive COVID false positives. So the World Health Organization is changing the rules of testing to guarantee that the number of cases drops off rapidly. And they did this right after Biden was inaugurated. A good visualization of what's been going on can be seen in New York. The number of recent cases in New York has been much larger than they were back in April, when lots and lots of people were dying. But the death count in New York recently has been much lower than it was back in April. So they have a lot more cases now, but a lot smaller number of deaths. Obviously, they're measuring something different than they were back in April. And if we look at the CDC flu data, we can see exactly what's going on. Flu has essentially disappeared off the face of the earth. The most likely explanation is that defective PCR testing is counting most flu cases as being COVID-19. But with the change in PCR testing, we will almost certainly see a drop in the number of COVID-19 cases and deaths, and a corresponding increase in the number of flu cases and flu deaths. And after 9 months of the press and left claiming that anti-lockdown people were mass murderers, suddenly they're saying that lockdowns are useless. I was banned from YouTube for a while for showing a video of a German doctor who questioned the lockdowns. But now that's the official story that lockdowns don't work. Censorship is a horribly destructive thing for civilization, but all of the big tech media giants are doing it. The German doctor was absolutely correct, but he was arrested and I was shut down for showing him. Social media and the left have been behaving exactly like fascists. 1 year ago, the Trump economy was performing extremely well. Unemployment was near historic lows, and then Democratic politicians jumped all over the lockdowns as a way to decimate the economy ahead of the election. Democratic governors and mayors were extremely successful at destroying the economy. They put tens of millions of people out of work. But now that they've got a Democrat in the White House, suddenly they want the economy to improve. The propaganda needs of the Democratic Party have changed. The mayor of Chicago wants everything to open up as quickly as possible, as does the governor of New York. If it wasn't obvious before, it should be obvious now. Democrats' primary concern is power, and they don't care how many people they have to trample in order to obtain it. President Trump did a fantastic job for America. I'm looking forward to his new Patriot Party. But for now, the Joe Biden clown show goes on. Toto and Kyrie are keeping very busy reporting on this clown show. Please visit them on the web at realclimatescience.com.